Hello and welcome back to the 2015 Canola Junior Provincials from the Assiniboine Memorial Curling Club. Bringing you the broadcast once again is Connor Niggevin and myself, Scott Peterson. Very nice to have all of you back who watched our game at 12:15, and welcome to the new people who were not here at 4. So we started off the week with about 16 teams from the junior men's and women's, and now we're down to just the 2 on each side. Shannon Burchard has qualified through the 1-1 game, and they're from the St. Vital Curling Club, and they will be playing Beth Peterson, who qualified through the 2-2 game, the semifinal, which was at 12:15. And now we are moving on to our feature game, which is between Braden Calvert and Matt Dunstone. So here's the teams coming up. We're just going to introduce them quickly.
So we have the reigning junior champion, Team Braden Calvert from the Deer Lodge Curling Club. Skip Braden Calvert, third Kyle Kurz, second Lucas Vandenbosch, and lead Brendan Wilson. The 2 years ago, the Canadian junior champion, Skip Matt Dunstone, third Colton Lott, second Kyle During, and lead Rob Gordon. So by virtue of the winner of the 1-1 game, Matt Dunstone will start off with the hammer. So Braden Calvert and his team from the Deer Lodge will be up first.
Yeah, we have a real good heavyweight match here as two really good nationally skilled teams. So we got a really good game coming up here. As well as on sheet 4, which we will be updating you with as we go through the day, evening, afternoon, whatever.
Yeah, so it just shows the depth in Manitoba, how we have the 2 different Canadian junior champions playing today in the final. So guaranteed to have a good rep on both the men and the women's side this year out of Manitoba, hopefully going on to bring another national championship home to our province.
Top 4.
So Braden Calvert starting off at the top 4. And Brendan Wilson's in the hack to deliver the first stone of this 2015 Canola Junior Provincial Men's Championship.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. I think both of these teams, when they went to the Nationals, ended up winning and going on to top 4 finishes at the World's Juniors. So both really strong teams. This is going to be a great game.
Yeah, and Matt Dunstone has kind of revamped his team since he won the Nationals. He's with the addition of Kyle During and Rob Gordon. And looks like we're going to kind of have an open end to start off with Brendan Wilson making his first one real good. Rob Gordon's going to get in the hack and throw the hit.
Yeah, both of these teams are really strong hitters, so I would assume we're going to see a lot of good hitting and a lot of probably some open ends. But once things get junked up, we'll see a lot of runbacks and stuff like that. They love to hit. So there goes Brendan with his second shot here.
And on the Braden Calvert team, we got a mix of some flat flips and one tucker, whereas the Matt Dunstone team, we got a whole lineup of tuck deliveries.
And as a skip, would that be a preferable thing, or does it really matter too much?
I think some people will say that it's easier to read when everybody throws the same delivery, but for the most part, Braden Calvert and his team, they've played enough games together that I'm sure Braden knows Brendan's tuck delivery pretty in and out, no problem. So Rob Gordon with 2 good throws, Brendan Wilson with 2 good throws, and we're on to the seconds rocks.
Yeah, this one's starting off fairly clean. It'll be up and down end for the most part, I'm sure.
Unlike our girls' game earlier today at 12:15, where we saw a little bit of a run in the right side of the ice, sheet F this week has been very consistent both ways, so we'll be able to see some throw on both the intern and the outturn today.
Yeah, which will probably allow us to have a little bit more of a clean game. Some of those spots on sheet 4 make it a little difficult to even make regular shots, so made things a little bit more interesting in that way, I guess.
So Lucas with a hit and roll out, and Kyle During with a chance to get his draw weight with a free draw to the rings. It's always nice in the first end of a provincial final to get a free draw to the rings to kind of Get your nerves out of your way and get that draw weight in your back pocket.
Kyle Deering before this year actually had been a skip for a long time, so he's got a lot of that big game, that big shot mentality, and he knows how to throw those big shots. So he knows those kind of nerves, and I think that's a huge asset to have in your second position.
Yeah, and I curled third for Kyle for a season, and he's one of those guys that's just so calm on the ice and has such a good. He's so calm and has such a good time, but he loves to win so much that he just brings so much intensity, and he's just such a fun guy to curl with. So he'll be very excited to be playing in this game. So Lucas Vandenbosch with his best Rob Fowler impersonation. Hits and sticks.
Yeah, and Dunstone's just gonna keep up with the program here and just keep things going in the way they are.
Both these teams this week finished first in their pool. Dunstone with a 6-1 record, and Braden Calvert with a 7-0 record. Both teams have just been playing basically on fire all week. Both teams. Matt Dunstone did get ahead of Braden Calvert this morning in a very, very close game that went down to last rock draw by Matt. So we're looking forward to a nice close final today. Kyle Kurz with his first stone of the first end of the Canola Junior Provincial Men's Championship.
I'm always amazed when he throws at the balance he has with that broom. He doesn't really use it much for balance at all, just all on the body.
Yeah, funny story about Kyle. He used to actually be a tucker when he curled Matt Dunstone a long time ago. And he tried to pull the Jeff Stoughton spin around and blew out his knee. So Kyle actually had to revamp his delivery, much like Reed Carruthers did for the Jeff Stoughton team. And he's kind of gone back and forth with using a crutch and not using it. And he, last year, he went to holding the broom out by his side, and obviously it worked for him, winning the national championship. So he's back throwing it how nice and stable, and he's really likes his delivery right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't broke, don't fix it, right?
Absolutely.
So now Colton getting a chance at one of those open draws that we've been talking about?
Yeah, and again, it's important in the first end of a game when you get a hit and roll out to really buckle down and find that draw weight in the first end, because you're going to need it throughout the game.
That one's a little deep, but I think it'll stick around.
So he hangs on, and Kyle's going to throw the out-turn hit. See Braden Calvert there sporting the Manitoba Canola Growers mitts. Those are a popular commodity out here at the Manitoba Junior Provincials. Canola Growers has been a great sponsor, and they give those black mitts with the yellow emblem on them to all the competitors.
I know I still have 2 pairs that I won when I was in juniors a few years ago. Let's not say too many, but yeah, certainly have a couple of those from my junior days still.
Yeah, control up.
So Kyle Kurz with a good hit and stick, and Colton Mott with an out-turn hit coming up. Colton is one of the best hitters probably in juniors for sure. He's great tuck delivery, really squared up to the broom and can throw a pile of weight.
Yeah, they certainly they get a lot of weight out of that guy, and Dunstone uses him really well in that fashion by calling a lot of tougher hits and stuff like that for Colton, because he's going to make them most times.
And obviously, I guess I just jinxed Colton there. That doesn't happen very often where we get a flash out of Colton, but found a straight spot in the ice and have to learn from that as the game goes on.
We also have to learn to apparently shut our mouths.
So Braden Calvert's looking to put this one close to the tee line where Matt Dunstone doesn't have an easy double or a hit and roll to group the stones. Again, good for Braden to get a free draw in the first end. Braden's probably one of the guys that I would say in juniors right now has just unbelievable draw weight. When he gets his draw weight in his back pocket, he doesn't seem to lose it, and he's had it all week so far.
Yeah, there certainly seems to be a bit of the strengths of the two skips that we have going on here are maybe a little bit different. Matt loves the solo skips, loves big weight stuff like that. Braden just plays such a nice soft racing, and he plays really well. Not that he can't make those big shots when he needs to, but he has that really nice straight draw weight. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
So we see Matt lining up he was lining up a double there for a little while, but it looks just a little bit too thin, so he's playing the hit and roll, I think.
Yeah, and again, I think possibly trying to group those stones a little bit better.
So here's Matt Dunstone getting ready to throw his first rock. Matt and his team has had a very successful season, doing very well on the men's circuit, as well as he will be representing University of Manitoba in Spain at the 2015 Universiad.
Ole. So he seems to be worried about a little bit of a track here. They tried to call an audible late, but
so kind of caught in between the two shots. Braden's gonna draw and try to force Matt Dunstone, which is really a dream start for the Calvert team.
Yeah, that was definitely their goal from the start of the end, is to get that force, and then they can turn their two around on and start that trend.
So you'll see Braden kind of take a different path here. They did throw this and draw the button. Each team gets a 7-minute practice. So Braden will be familiar with this, and the sweepers will know the speed here. So looking to put it on the top of the 4.
Yeah, and again, is he maybe throwing this way just to get a better feel of it, or just to look at it again or something?
I think maybe they found a tricky spot in the ice where maybe they're thinking Matt might be able to jam this one. So again, just trying to find that weight. It looks a little hot right now.
Just slow down a little bit. Looks like it should be okay.
Main thing is to stick in the rings here. And a little deep, but that might have left a blank for Matt.
Yeah, now the question is he going to throw it?
And if I was betting right now, Matt would be throwing this hard for the blank.
Yeah, it should be a fairly makeable double here for a blank.
So anybody that knows Matt Dunstone knows that he likes to throw it hard. He won his Canadian Junior Nationals on a rocket in-off against Thomas Scoffin. So he'll be throwing. He likes to whip him down there, and he's usually pretty close.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be light. Close. That's a great shot.
So a missed opportunity there for Braden. If he puts that one in the top of the 8 foot, that shot's not there. But great shot by Matt, and he'll hold on to the hammer going to the second end.
Yeah, a nice escape shot for Matt there. He gets out of that end with no fuss, no muss.
So there's our replay of the double takeout and the rollout. Like we said, he likes to throw it hard, and he makes those a lot.
Yeah, expect a few more of those for the game, I think.
So Braden Calvert calls for top 4, and here we see Brendan Wilson. Interesting enough, he used to be my lead back when I was 13 and I was skipping.
So many years ago.
Back when I was a good curler, Brendan Wilson was my lead. So getting ready to do an update on the junior women's final between Shannon Burchard and Beth Peterson.
So on the last end, as you can see, a blank has been put up. Shannon threw there it is. There, she's throwing a peel out here. Makes it nice and clean and keeps that blank end in play. So it was a great shot to make her blank, and we're going to keep going with that on the women's game, and we'll come back to that later.
So a little bit of surprise here on the men's that A little bit of surprise here on the men's that Matt's hitting the rock in the forefoot, but again, junior provincial final. He's feeling like if he can hold on to the hammer for as long as possible, that increases his chances of winning.
Yeah, and I think a certain part of it too is, getting used to the stage and the cameras and everything, and Dunstone hasn't had that stuff on him yet today, so just getting used to that and maybe taking it a little slow to start.
Yeah, and unlike a lot of junior teams, these two teams will have had TV coverage, which is pretty rare for juniors. So they, both of these guys have been on TV before, which eliminates the nerves that you get the first time you're on the big lights. So every time you're on TV, it's a little bit different. But these guys have, for junior team, these guys have both been on TV, so it makes it easier for these guys coming into the final here.
Yeah, it's certainly nothing new, I guess, right?
And good shots by the leads.
Yeah, strangely enough, the only person on this men's sheet that has not won a bison yet is the lead on Dunstone's team, Robert Gordon. He's in his first, he's having his first shot at it here, so keep an eye on that.
Funny thing about Rob Gordon is he only really started curling about 4 or 5 years ago. He was a hockey player for the longest time, and as you can tell, he's kind of small, and that didn't work out, and he picked up curling, and he's just one of those guys that you love to hate because he's good at everything. So he's picked it up pretty fast, and a couple years later, he's in the provincial final.
Yeah, we have a couple of interesting leads here. Brendan Wilson last year was his first year with this Calvert team, but he didn't start the year with them, and sort of came in about 2-3 weeks before provincials and joined the team, and lo and behold, they won it all. So for Brendan, it was pretty easy last year, and I think this year he's on the team full time, and he's really enjoying that and playing really well, as you can see.
Yeah, I always joke with Brendan that he had the best 21 games of anybody could ever have last year.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. So with that hit and roll out, Lucas Vandenbosch gets his turn at a free draw. A couple interesting stories from both these teams. With a couple of a lot of these players used to play together on the same team. Matt Dunstone and Kyle Curtis back when they were younger. Kyle During and Lucas Vandenbosch for a couple years. Kyle During also played with Colton Lott, then didn't play with Colton Lott, and is playing with Colton Lott. So a lot of stuff has moved around over the last couple years in juniors, and it looks like we got two pretty solid teams.
I believe Colton Lott was During's third for quite a while.
Yeah, Colton played third for During, and then he played third for Matt, and now he's playing with both of them. So it worked out. It's funny how things work out. So in-turn hit here for During.
Yeah, like we said, it seems actually both sheets are fairly content with keeping things simple and throwing these first few ends up and down and getting a feel for the game, getting a feel for the big lights.
Judging by how the game has started so far, I would think it's fair to say that I think Matt is waiting for Braden to make the first move. So Kyle Kerr's here with an in-turn hit.
Yeah, and it may not be a bad idea for Braden to maybe take that move at some point. He obviously curled on this sheet not 4 hours ago, so he's very used to the sheet ice and been curling all day, so he does have a good feel for it. So maybe it's a good idea to jump on him early. I don't know. What do you think?
I think we'll see Braden throw a guard in the next end. I would imagine he wants to get rid of or take away the hammer from Matt at some point. He won't be content playing open end for too much longer.
Yeah, I don't think Calvert wants a 1-0 loss.
No, absolutely. I mean, he'll want to get the hammer back himself and put some pressure on and try to get a force. So here's Colton Lott. In-turn hit. So Kyle During actually sweeps not too bad for a lifetime skip. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, sometimes you're forced to do something you don't want to, and that's what poor Kyle's doing.
He's not exactly an E.J. Harnden type build out there, but he's got great cardio, I'm told. That's what he tells me, great cardio.
I'm sure that's true. There's a little bit of a mistake or a half shot and roll out. Give Colton a shot at the empty house.
So you see Matt kind of moving around the broom. As we saw earlier in our game, the two girls teams that we were covering kind of stuck to the same path. Matt and his team are trying to figure out every spot of the ice, so he's going to try to go wide into the 12-foot here.
Yeah, it seems like he's not taking a lot of ice for this one. Must be fairly straight out there.
Yeah, I think it's going to the wings. It doesn't seem to hook as much. It's kind of dished to the middle. So, good shot by Colton there.
So here we have Braden just keeping up with the program and throwing a nice shot here. Probably throw a nice down weight and give it a try. Just hit it on the nose. Make Matt have to throw at something.
Yeah, I think if you're Braden, kind of what we talked about already, the first two ends, it's important just try to stick around on these and not let Matt get his draw weight.
Yeah, I think especially for Matt, being able to hit so much, he's probably not going to have as many draws as others, so it might take him a little bit more to get his draw weight possibly.
Yeah, maybe a little bit strong on that hit, and good sweeping by Matty. Get some of the nervous energy out there, and he's going to get this free draw that he wants.
So once again, Matt's going to get a nice throw at this and get some good feel in him. You're going to see really great sweeping from both front ends, actually. These are pretty powerful sweepers, even though some of them are slightly small, but really good sweepers, really good positioning and speed on their brooms.
And you see Matt's colorful shoes there. He brought those out the first year that he won Manitoba Junior Provincials, so I think those shoes will be sticking around for a couple years.
Oh, they are beauties.
Should be close, easy boys.
He also has matching orange socks. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but you should know they are beautiful.
I think you're there.
So actually, both these teams have qualified for the 2015 Men's Provincials as well at the Keystone Center, which is quite the accomplishment for a couple of junior teams. Matt qualified last year, winning a Bert Fonsfield, and Braden Calvert and his team qualified 2 weeks ago at the Winnipeg Regionals. So it's going to be awesome to see both these teams are going to get a chance at some arena ice, regardless on who wins this game.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, for sure you know this, but could you just explain what the difference between an arena ice and club ice is?
Yeah, absolutely. For those who have not played on arena ice, the surface is a lot more solid and the pebble's a lot crisper. So you see a lot more consistent curl, basically everywhere you throw in, and you'll get a lot of curl, and the ice conditions are really fast, and it feels like it's really hot in the arena when you're sweeping, and instead of being freezing all the time, you're sweating. So it's a little bit of a different atmosphere out there.
Yeah, that's why you see, I guess, when you're watching it on TV, not many of them wear their jackets, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty hot. So Matt with an out turn, throwing it pretty hard. And he likes it. So after two blank ends on the board, Matt Dunstone retains hammer.
We're just keeping up with the Kardashians, just throwing them up and down and trying to get this kind of game going here. As we said, Braden Calvert might give it a shot here.
So there you see Matt's team. They're just probably going over the first two ends. If they noticed anything in the ice over the first two ends that they want to talk about, anything with the rocks. So there we go. Like we predicted, Braden Calvert's going to throw a tight centerline guard here.
Connor, you are a smart man.
So important for Braden that Brendan puts us as a center line guard. You see a lot of teams, they accidentally slip this one in, and then the frustration starts to build that they're wasting another end. And against a team like Matt, who can hit so well, you don't want to be wasting too many ends. But Brendan's weight looks perfect, and it looks like we're going to have game on here.
So Matt's just going to go straight around that guard and come into the center here.
Make it nice. Top four,
So
line
Rob
good.
Gordon's looking to put this one in the top of the 4, the top of the 8. Doesn't want to slide any deeper than full 4, otherwise Braden will be able to freeze and kind of put the pressure on him. So it's important for the lead to kind of put this on the top of the 4-foot, top of the 8-foot spot.
They like the weight so far. Might be a little heavy.
That's beach ball.
And great shot by
Yeah,
Rob
it looks
Gordon.
perfect.
So Brendan Wilson looking to follow him down. Again, very important that he doesn't roll off. He wants to lock this one right on the face of it.
Yeah, and with such accomplished teams, these shots are become a little bit more commonplace and a little bit easier for them to make.
Yeah, I would say these are the shots that take junior teams from being regular junior teams to junior teams that are making it big time and winning the nationals. And unfortunately for Brendan, he slid a little deep there, and you can tell that he wasn't very happy with that.
Yeah, just a little too much weight, I think. So now Matt's going to get his 2 set up here and try and go out wide.
Yeah, so the goal here is just not to leave a hit and roll double. So throwing at T-line and letting the sweepers do the work.
Yeah, Robert got his weight so far, so hoping to get that right in line with his first shot.
Deering and Lott just watching it in. Trying to take it just a little bit deeper than the T-line. That's 2 pretty perfect shots by Rob Gordon to set up the end. So Braden started off with an aggressive call, throwing the guard, and he's looking like he's going to have to bail. And this is the sign of a good skip, knowing when you're in trouble.
Yeah, he's just throwing that nice, comfortable weight, not going crazy. Doesn't need to throw a lot of peel at it, just a nice control weight.
Yeah,
is all he
I
needs.
was a little bit surprised that they threw the outturn there. We saw in the first end that Colton Lott flashed on that outturn spot. And those are just little things that make a big difference in these games. Watching what happened in the first end, how Colton threw that rock.
I'm not a fan of center.
If Braden
I'm not a fan of
realized
a
that
center guard.
Colton was maybe a little bit wide, or maybe he threw it good, and Braden just needed to
Hey,
get
you wanna
just
go
less
even?
ice on that run back.
Go even. Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly you got to keep watching the other skip and seeing what happens. It's a good way to get information for your own shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And both these 2 teams throw such a pure rock that you are able to watch the other team and get a read off their throws. Sometimes two teams throw it so different that your rocks won't react the same as the other teams. So Kyle Deering looking to stick in the full 12-foot here. Sweepers are backing off.
Looks a little heavy, but it may stick around. Yeah, good shot.
Three perfect shots from the Matt Dunstone team so far this end. So Braden Calvert's going to be looking for a hit and roll or a double here to get himself out of trouble. See Braden lining up the double. Both doubles are pretty steep. They're not very easy. Having a rip at the double is a little bit risky. He could play a hit and roll. But Lucas is a fairly good hitter. So he's looking to hit about just a thick quarter.
And I think they'll probably be fairly safe with this one. Yeah. Just a little bit in between both shots.
Yeah, so good try by Lucas. That was a harder double than people would think. But right now, Matt Dunstone's looking pretty good for a deuce for sure.
like
Yeah,
top
he's set up
line.
very
Right where we
well.
had it,
Both of
real
his
good.
yellows are even and far away from each other, so that double's not there. Matt's just trying to figure out where he's going to put this third rock that will stay out of trouble.
We'll fill you in that the second end of the junior women's final was also blank. So we have 0-0 scores across the board here at the Canola Junior Provincial Championships.
We're all content just to take it slow for the first few ends here. So things starting to heat up on our sheet, and looks as well as the women are heating up also.
So good draw weight there by Kyle, putting both his draws in good spots. Good judging by the sweepers. It's a little bit higher than the last one, so there's a little bit of a steeper angle.
Do you think, is there a double there for him to make?
Yeah, it's definitely there, but it's not easy. Like I said, it might just be better to hit and roll for now.
And try and get those grouped a little bit better.
Yeah, playing this end, Braden Calvert hasn't had the ideal start, so it might be a good idea for him to just hit and roll and hope that he gives up a deuce and doesn't let the three keep building up in play. Because even if he makes a double, they're rolling out and Matt's still splitting the rings and still looking like he's going to get two. So a hit and roll might be the right call here.
Try that.
Looks like they're going to throw the double though.
I guess the thought here is if you do make it, then you're set for a deuce if you don't make another double too. So maybe trying to get out of this end.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kersey, he's very good at his hits. He's a really good hitter. Throws it really hard, so he'll be close.
Back there.
Yeah, that's a good amount of weight for sure.
Bringing the heat.
That's curling. Might have curled a little too much there.
Yeah, so just an overcurl. That's kind of what we talked about is risk versus reward there. It's a pretty tough double that they took on there.
Center here is perfect.
Yeah, and it's giving Matt a chance to throw the same shot many times, which with this caliber of team, they just won't miss
Not end of the
those.
world. Just gives him an easier double.
So Colton's going to look to replace that one in the forefoot. So far, he's had the draw weight really good all week. He's been really good on his draws.
Top four, line very tight.
Blank the first end. Blank the second.
This one looks a little light. The boys are going.
Yeah, they were on it pretty early too. But as long as it's in, I don't think it's a real issue. Gotta get it in for third shot would be ideal.
The steeper they get it, the deeper they get it, the steeper the double is. So he's left an easier double than the ones they've been taken on for sure. So I think you'll see Braden take it on one more time.
Yep.
If Kurz hits it in the same spot that he did the last one, he'll be making the double.
Right, and I think that's at this point that's the best Calvert can ask for, right? Is maybe getting one of those doubles and making this end a little bit more bearable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes you just gotta count your losses and hope that you only give up a deuce and make a double, give up a deuce and get the hammer back and try to chip away at the lead.
Yeah.
So Kurz will be bringing the heat again here.
Throwing that nice weight, hoping it's not going to overcurl again.
Before tear down, I like it.
Yep.
There's that weight. Still curling quite a bit.
Jeez, and he just
That's
missed.
too much. Very close.
Looked like he just went over the top on his release there a little bit and got that
Just
one
a
moving.
sliver deeper.
So,
Sliver deeper,
a very
sliver
close
closer to
try.
center.
so same shot
A
for
little bit
Matt
more center,
Dunstone.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably want to get it a little deeper, maybe.
Yeah, I think a little closer to the center line, maybe a foot or two more away out of Colton's hand so they don't have to sweep it the whole way, and they'll be looking pretty good for a three.
They seem to be on it a little early again. There they go.
Still tight line. tight line. Roll the curling. Right here. Roll the back.
See Matt tapping the top of the forefoot. That's what he wants it to stop. And higher is better than deeper in this case.
Yeah, and that's going to about where he wants it. Maybe
It's a pretty
foot too deep.
perfect spot for Colton Lott.
For sure.
So far, 6 perfect shots from the Dunstone team this end. They haven't missed one yet.
Yep.
Yeah, Braden's going to try his best
Little,
to get this.
yeah, right there.
So, big shot here for Braden Calvert in the third end. Looking to make a double.
Yep.
Once again, really nice weight here.
Really curling for him.
As it just goes over top the yellow.
You just keep those same spot, eh?
They unfortunately missed that in the same spot 3 times in a row, so
In the same fashion too. It's a tough shot. And we can obviously see that as it's been the same result.
Hate giving more ice on when you're throwing a peel.
yeah, and to Braden's comment there, it is curling so much that it's hard on the eyes to give more than 6 inches. A lot of the places you'll play all year, you barely have to give any ice for the weight these guys can throw, and it just seems to be hooking no matter what kind of weight you're throwing here out on this sheet. So in Braden's defense, to throw at a foot of ice for a peel is not easy.
And would one way to battle that maybe be take the other turn, or is it?
Yeah, maybe we did see that straight spot on the other turn. I think what these guys just need to realize is
They're all there.
they're very good at reading ice. They just
It's
need
all
to
there.
trust themselves and trust
No-
that
no
they
easy
trust
double,
that
guys.
where they're putting the ice is
No,
the
let
right
it hook. No. Where's weight? Just top button.
So you can
No
see
double. Yep. Yep. Hard, Rob.
That's got a very specific spot in mind, and that should be pretty good.
Yeah, so he might have given them a little bit of an out with the double, but the boys swept it pretty good, and it's pretty flat. So Braden will have to throw this one very hard and hit a good half of that rock. But regardless, Matt will have a shot for 2.
I think the only way you make it is with a straight turn.
Yeah, and you saw how he changed his mind, right? He wanted a top button, but if it was a little heavier, wanted to go all the way back, make sure they didn't have an easier double at that. Maybe not quite as deep as they needed it.
So we'll listen in to Braden and Kyle talking about the angles here.
Yeah, Kersey, if I throw peel, I gotta put the broom right there. This will back up and jam. I think we gotta hit 3/4 of peel. Should catch the back of it. I'd rather do this.
So Kyle, being a good third, he listens to his skip when Skip's got an idea in his head.
Yeah, the role of a third usually is to give other options and
Same
let your
throw,
skip
basically.
choose, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes down to what Braden wants to throw in the end. So, Braden's last rock, third end of the provincial final.
Well, got a good amount of heat on it. Should curl. Maybe not quite enough.
So just a couple different throws, I think, there from the Calvert team. It looked like the first couple they were a little bit clean and over the top, and it looked like Braden was a little bit scared that one was going to curl on him. Just a little bit back, and you know what? 7 good shots in a row from the Dunstone team here, and he's got to draw full 12 foot for 3.
Yeah, and that's I mean, if you make that many shots in a row, usually you're going to have a good outcome, and I think Matt's going to get that right here.
Where? T-line. All you. Line's perfect. T-line.
overthrow everyone.
Yeah, you can hear Braden kind of saying, "Can't believe we didn't make one double." He had a lot of shots at them, but shouldn't be too hard on himself. Those were really tough doubles and not
That's what I was trying
certainly not gimmies.
Yeah, and I just questioned that they didn't play the hit and roll. Those were all extremely tough doubles. I thought maybe a hit and roll might have grouped the stones a little bit better there, but Braden will be able to battle back here. There's still lots of game left.
We're going to go to an update on the women's final over on sheet 4. So here we have Shannon throwing her last rock, and she is throwing a beautiful throw through the house, and this is once again another blank, keeping it at 0-0. So that's 0-0 in the women's final on sheet 4, and we will come back to that when we have something else to tell you.
They give you 4 out of 4 for that throw.
Oh yeah, that's unbelievable. Oh, it's a tough one, you know. Got to throw the right weight.
So here we go. Rob Gordon trying to go top 4 here.
Yeah, I think Dunstone for sure is happy with that 3, and maybe we'll want to get back to that open game and keeping it pretty tight to the vest.
Yeah, earlier today in the 1-1 game, Matt Dunstone had a 3-point lead, and Braden Calvert was able to 2-on-2 and get himself into a last rock game. So he'll be looking to do the same thing here, and against these Dunstone boys, they like to throw it hard. It'll be hard, but Braden and his team are very good at setting up angles.
Yeah, and they're now going to get to play that little bit of a more junky game and use some of their skills at coming around and throwing those weight shots.
So Brendan Wilson a little snug of the broom there, and it seems to be
good weight.
Warping over, but it's a good shot. Good corner guard. So basically dream start for the Dunstone team. I had the pleasure of actually playing against both these guys this year with my team, and we were lucky enough to get a chance to play Matt Dunstone in the A qualifier of the Portage La Prairie Canadians Prairie Classic. So that was a ton of fun. We were able to sneak by them, but those guys are, I would say, these two teams are some of the best junior teams I think I've ever seen for sure. We played Braden Calvert a couple weekends ago in regionals, and we were able to sneak by him, but he gave us everything we could handle and went to an extra end. So regardless, Manitoba is going to have a great provincial representative here, and both these guys are just really, really good teams.
Go if you can.
Yeah, and I think further to your point, either of these junior teams, taking Jeff Stoughton's team to an extra end is a big accomplishment for them, as Jeff has been one of the greatest curlers in Manitoba history. So it's pretty neat to see them playing so well against such great competition.
So here we go. Good start for Brendan Wilson. Rob Gordon's second rock came a little deep, so a good draw from Brendan Wilson getting second shot rock, and here's Kyle During gonna peel. Good throw by Kyle there.
Is that a little early to peel the guard, or do you think that's probably the right call there?
I think with the 3-point lead, they're going to replace the guard and peel the guard a couple times, and I don't think Matt's in any rush to make a move. I have seen him a couple times this week with Colton Lotz, third rocks, throw the peel run back, just because Colton can throw it so hard. So I think Matt's just going to be patient, and hopefully Lucas slides his guard a little bit tight, and they can run one back.
Wait for an opening.
Yeah, and if Braden places his guards perfect, if they make 8 shots, then you should have an opportunity at a deuce.
Yeah, which is all Calvert's going for here. You don't need to go insane. You just need your 2. There's lots of time left, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and that, like Matt Dunstone, he doesn't need to take any risk right now. He knows that he's got the lead, and he doesn't need any unforced errors from his team. Good clean throw from Kyle again, so 2 good 2 good peels. And Braden's going to call to replace the guard once more.
Same weight.
Yeah, calling same weight, same shot.
So Lucas is going to look at going halfway, outturn guard.
Better line. Line's real good.
Again, we welcome you to tweet us any questions you have at Curl Manitoba.
Yep.
We'd be happy to answer any questions on air.
We have all the answers, I'm sure. Here Matt goes, just going up and peeling that guard once again. Been fairly successful with that, so keeping it up.
He eventually is gonna have to come through you. My first, he did, yeah.
So you heard Calvert there just talking about that, the idea of when they're going to go and when they're going to make a play on that shot in the house there. So it's a really good conversation to be having with your third.
Yeah, and I think a good thing that other teams can learn from these 2 top junior teams is they're always thinking 4 or 5 shots ahead. Both of the skips have just great minds, and they're always thinking about a couple shots ahead, so when they know they can make their decisions quick, and they know what they need to be doing. So Kyle Kurz is going to look to replace that guard. Very important that he covers it enough that Colton Watt will not be allowed or able to hit the second shot rock.
Over and off.
So
Over and off.
A little snug out of his hand.
And with the way that curls, it's a little dangerous if it's curling a little bit.
Okay.
So you hear Braden say he just pointed it a little bit, so he just softed that release a little bit, and here's Matt Dunstone's opportunity without taking too much risk to get rid of that second shot rock stone.
Yeah, and I think that's probably that's what Matt was hoping for at some point, an over curl or some way to get at that red rock a little easier.
So it looks like a board waiter here from Colton Lott. Pro side miss would be peeling the corner guard.
About control weight here.
Boys got to go to get it by.
I know. Hoping to get that roll. That's still a good shot.
It's a good shot by Colton. Important that Colton stuck around there, as if he didn't, there would be a double, and Calvert could get out with this get out of this end with a blank. Whereas right now it's looking like if Matt Dunstone's keep making shot, if Kyle doesn't make the hit and roll here, that they could potentially be forced to take a single.
And that's really what Dunstone's hoping for, right? A fourth here would be pretty key for them.
Yeah, being up two with would be a good scenario. Braden thinks that one might have grabbed something.
Tough break.
So
Kick halfway down.
Yeah.
So tough break for the Braden Calvert team there.
And that's tough. That's something you never want to see. A pick shot, sort of dictating what's going to happen in an end. That's tough to swallow for anybody, and you don't like to see that on either team. So Matt just going for a nose hit here.
So throwing this one fairly hard. I'm kind of surprised about this.
Yeah, it certainly seemed to be more weight than needed. We're just going to go to an update on the girls' game. There's a big shot just made by the Shannon Burchard squad here. So we're going to have a look at this.
So she's throwing an outturn half rock double. Beth Peterson had the same chance to make the double and nosed it. So Shannon Burchard with the chance, and she nails it.
Makes it really beautiful. It's a really nice shot.
So there's still 2 rocks to come in that end. So, like I said before, Matt Dunstone didn't stick around, so Braden Calvert's got a chance at maybe a hit and roll here. If he overcurls, he'll get a double.
And either option is okay. Well, that one just might have gotten away from them a little bit. It's rolling out, unfortunately, definitely not what Braden was hoping for there, and he seems a little bit upset about that one.
Yeah, not ideal. He would have liked to at least stick to make Matt have to hit, but
Yeah, so. I mean, I'm a quarter of an inch from making it.
just overswept it just by that little bit. You heard Braden say a quarter of an inch away from making it perfect, and sometimes you down 3-0, he has to go pretty aggressive for those rolls and really try to make that shot. So he wasn't far off from making that. So
Yeah.
Matt's gonna draw to the wing, and like we said, he'll get the force that he wanted.
Yeah, sort of a dream scenario here for Matt Dunstone. Things going his way so far.
You rolled a little steeper than I thought. Right? Isn't that almost from the surface?
So important for this one to stick around in the house.
Seems to definitely have some skates on it, but should slow down.
And good enough, so Braden Calvert's going to have to draw for his one.
Yeah, definitely not the result Braden was looking for, but a fairly simple shot for your one. Get out of the end and move along.
So you'll see Braden not taking a whole lot of ice for this shot. The sweepers are going to have to be careful that if it does get into that straight track, that it doesn't run on them and slide too deep. Needs a piece of the 8-foot for one.
Wait only, guys. Looks good.
Yeah, they seem to be on it, but fairly confident with where it's going. Yeah, and they sweep it nicely in there.
Good draw from the reigning junior champ, and we have a 3-1 game.
Yeah, certainly not the start that Braden was looking for, but still lots of time, and for sure you get your force in your two and keep that trend going, and good things happen. We're going to go to another update here, and this is Shannon's last shot. We showed you her shot before, and Beth made a nice double to give Shannon an open shot for two, which Shannon will be happy with, and conversely, Beth will also be happy with, considering what they were looking at. So this is Shannon's last shot. They got Boisvert to come out and give it a little extra help, but it wasn't really needed. It was a great shot, and they did a very good shot. So there's your two. That game is opened up a little bit.
We had our first on-air Twitter question from today. Jason Gunlickson asking, does Colton Lott have the prettiest slide in junior curling? And I think that one's debatable. He's a pretty guy, but I don't know if he's got the prettiest slide. I'd have to say Kyle Kurz. He's got a nice slide. Who else is there?
There's a lot of nice slides out
A
there.
lot of nice slides out there.
I'm as a flat footer, I'm pretty partial to Braden Calvert's slide. He's got a nice one.
Braden Calvert, yeah, he's got a great slide.
I think that one's too tough to call.
We'll give Colton Lott the prettiest tuck delivery, and the prettiest flat foot delivery is a tough one.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, Kyle's is unorthodox, I'd say.
I'll
It's
give it to Kyle.
unorthodox, but
I'll give it to
interesting.
Kyle. You know what? He's been working hard at his slide. We'll give it to Kyle.
All right, I like it.
Hard! Bounce off. Hard!
So a little bit of a mistake here from Rob Gordon.
Yeah, he's got two corners at this point, but for sure they are up to width. That's not really what they're looking for. So a little bit of a mistake there, a half shot.
So Brendan Wilson looking to go higher than the two guards that were already there.
Just over. Just over. We're way over here. Wow, this is no good. Sit, 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 sit. Like around the Reds, eh?
Good shot there from Brendan. So Rob will be looking to go top 4 around the Reds.
Yeah, they'll take these guards and use them, and then get rid of them if needed.
Wait for line for a little bit. Yep, hard line. Gotta go line. Hard!
So they're having a little bit of a tough time with the amount of curl they got on that one spot. I don't know if Rob was a little bit light on those throws, or it's just over curling on him.
Yeah, that certainly is making things a little bit more difficult than they need to be.
So 4 guards out of the first 4 rocks. That's good for Braden Calvert. So he'll be asking Lucas Vandenbosch to draw around, and look where he's given the ice for this one. At the hog line on the boards.
Yeah, that is certainly a lot of ice.
So you don't practice that throw too many times in a curling club.
No. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been iced like that. That's quite a bit of finish there. And still had to sweep it.
So great throw from Lucas to slide out that far. Just gonna slide a little bit too deep, but still a good result.
T-line weight, I think you're racking.
Yeah, and you just hear Braden say if he has T-line weight, he's gonna hit the guards. So they're not really sure how much more ice you can take in that spot.
About a third.
So Matt's going to hope to get at least 2 out of here, so we'll see Kyle throw quite a bit of weight here, I assume.
In the 1-1 game this morning, Kyle During made 2 double peels in the extra end to clear things out of here, so he'll be close.
Yeah,
He throws a really nice shot.
And I think it picked out of his hand.
Yeah, that's 2 we've seen. Just too bad. Those have a tendency to really change an end around. So
Interesting thing about him peeling the high guard there is he actually opened up the draw for Braden Calvert to go around his own Reds. So a little bit of an easier shot here for Luke.
yeah, he doesn't have to take ice on the other sheet.
Yeah. Yep, go early. Hard to get by.
Boys think it's a little light out of his hand, which is
This looks real short. Where are you?
not the best. Braden thinks it's a little bit short.
Hard.
So opportunity missed for the Calvert team after getting a miss from the Dunstone team.
Yeah, and in these really top squads, you really got to take advantage of those chances when you get them.
Yeah, especially
Or this and get all 3.
these two teams. When you get an opportunity, when you get a miss, they definitely need to buckle down and make sure they make their next one. So good call here from Matt. He was looking at going at the wide ones there for a little bit, but I think this is a smart call.
You get the back one.
So you hear him trying to
You're
take
about a third.
hitting a third, trying to kick the yellow out of play and spin back into the rings.
And that nice peel weight.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Just hits it a little too thick. Sits right there. Certainly not doing themselves any favors.
So not completely out of the woods for Dunstone there. They're in a little bit of trouble here if Kurz makes a good draw. You just hear Matt saying there's still a lot of rocks up there for seconds rocks, and
Okay, go then.
he would be not very happy that there's that many rocks in play right now after being up 2 with.
Hard.
So another opportunity here, so see if the Calvert boys can make
Come on, Brendan. Go, go, go,
a
go,
good
go.
one here.
Really diving at that guard.
Great sweeping.
Ooh, right by. Really close. Oh,
Great
what
sweeping.
a sweep.
Great sweeping by the front end, but Colton will be able to rip the double and maybe get the back one as well.
3/4.
So there'll be some smoke on this one.
Here goes the prettiest slide in juniors.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
They're on that one right away.
Hard shooter, Bob.
So not exactly not the perfect result for Matt, but it's better than it was.
Might give Kyle a little more room to come around that guard there.
Yep, and you gotta think that Kyle's gonna be close on this after throwing it the first time.
Right. And there's that shot again, throwing lots of weight. About 4 times the weight I could ever throw.
Interesting enough, when Matt Dunstone's in Spain, the other 3 members of the team will be competing at the Safeway Championship. So Matt will not be on that team. They recruited Jason Gunlickson to skip them. So there'll be, and if anybody knows Jason, he likes to throw it hard too. So there'll be some smoke on those rocks at the 2015 Safeway Championship coming from Team Dunstone / Gunlickson.
Once again, just missing that curl a little bit.
I think it's time to come around some.
They're having a little bit of trouble here. And as you hear, Matt making the decision.
Yeah, and you got to think that the Calvert team won't be very happy with how this end has gone. They got some uncharacteristic misses from the Dunstone team, and they weren't able to take advantage of it. And you don't know how many misses you're going to get, so when you get them, you got to really buckle down and make sure you're putting your rocks in good spots.
For sure. A little bit of a sloppy end. Way more sloppier end than we're used to from these 2 teams.
Gotta be there. Line's really good. Line's really good. Switch.
Those 2 are really working at it.
Line's really good. Hard. All you got. It's really going hard, Kyle. All you got. Hard. Come on. Push it. Go.
Really
hard,
bearing
hard,
down on this
hard,
one.
Hard.
Good sweeping by the boys there.
Yeah, to get their first shot there. You really heard Matt really easing them on.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of intensity out there today on this provincial men's final.
I should say so. Yeah, these are big games. The Manitoba's on the sheet 3. You can look at the new jackets and all that, and those are right in front of you. So it's a big game for sure. It's intense.
So Braden and his team just discussing if they want to try to remove that Yellowstone or not. So he's called the bumper weight hit and roll, trying to lie to. And the amount of ice he's taking is it's not an easy shot at all. It's really hooking in there.
Yeah, and this is a very delicate shot. If you throw too much, it'll stay straight. If you don't throw enough, it's going to curl. So you got to be really on point with your weight here. So this is not an easy shot by any means. That's a good conversation there between the skip and the sweepers. Lucas just bringing forward some other ideas, and eventually Braden just said he liked what he's throwing, so that's great.
Trying to anticipate the curl here.
It's going to be very close. Yeah, and he gets the rock all the way out.
Pretty, not quite all the way up, but good enough. He's lying first and second, so really good shot there from Braden Calvert. That was not, he made it look easier than it was.
Yeah, those are the shots that he really throws well. Those nice lightweight shots, and he throws them really pure and very nice. Makes a lot of those.
So Matt's looking for a little bit of a hit and roll here. Trying to hope for a mistake from Braden on his last one and score a 2 or 3 under.
Yeah, getting a 2 would be a big win here for Matt.
Yep.
So hard out of his hand, I think he was a little bit tight.
Close. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Looking for a little finish. It's close.
Yeah. Hard roll.
Great
That's
shot
pretty
there by
good.
Matt.
Not bad at all.
So Braden's going to come down and try to tap it back. I'm not sure if he wants to tap it as far as... I'm not sure if he's trying to tap it as far as he can to get maybe lie 2, but...
Yeah, so a lot of ice still taken there. Even with that little bit extra weight.
And just a reminder that we'll be having a 5th end break interview with one of the 2 skips. Great sweeping by the Calvert front end.
A beautiful shot. Really nice shot. That is not easy to do at all. It's putting a lot of pressure on Matt here.
Just make sure we get one out of it. Just make sure we get one.
That's a game saver there from Braden Calvert.
Just one.
Absolutely. So we're going to have an update here from the women's final. This is Beth Peterson's last shot here.
No, it's not there for 2.
And she's throwing some weight at it, trying to get a bunch of these reds moving. And unfortunately just overcurls a little bit and flicks that top red. So that's a steal of 2 for Shannon Burchard. So that game's at 4-0 for Shannon, and Beth's looking at a little bit of a hole to climb out of now. And that's at the 5th end break.
You may as well just draw 4-foot, eh? You can get there with the intern.
Yeah, so I think this is probably the smarter of the two
You just gotta get
2
4-4,
calls
right?
for Matt Dunstone. It would have been pretty tough for him to tap that red and get 2, so why not just draw in the straight spot for 1.
Yeah, you're right. So where are you giving me for
And
red?
this is a good idea for Matt too. Is if you're not sure of what you're doing, go down, make sure you talk it over with your third, and really get a good idea of what you're doing. That way you can get into the hack and just throw your shot.
Okay. It's a little different path, but yeah,
So just talking to his sweepers, making sure he knows the path.
let's make it.
Needs full 4.
Yeah. Line's good. Line's good.
Feel good about the weight?
Line's good. Yep. Weight only, guys. Line's good. Weight only. Yep. Hard. Hard line. Hard. 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 Whoa. Clean. Yep. Whoa.
It's a really nice shot by Matt.
Good shot
A
for 1 by
really
Matt
nice shot.
Dunstone.
Yeah, that wasn't that was not an easy shot coming in with that intern. So really nice shot for them.
So sloppy end from both teams there in the 5th end, but it turns out that Matt Dunstone makes a draw for 1, and he leads 4-1 after 5.
And coming up right away, we're going to have a short interview with the skip that's leading, Matt Dunstone. So just hang on a second and we'll have that.
So during the 5th end break, they do come out and clean the ice and chamois the ice, so it does get a little bit faster. So you sometimes see that the lead's first couple rocks in the sixth end are a little bit heavy, but you notice with these two junior teams, they've been in a lot of big games where the ice gets prepared after the fifth end break, and they should be able to figure it out. I think the tale of the first half has been obviously the three-ender, and maybe a questionable decision by Braden Calvert to be playing the extremely difficult doubles 4 shots in a row over maybe a potential hit and roll to try to limit the end. So joining me now is Matt Dunstone, up 4-1 in the Canola Junior Provincial Final. So Matt, what do you think the story of the first 5 ends has been?
You know what, patience for us. We played a great third end there, made 8 straight shots, and never left them an easy double at all during that end. So you know what, we just got to keep her going.
Yeah, and what do you think you guys have been doing this week that's been working so well?
You know what, we've just stayed calm and collected throughout the entire provincials, and you know what, we're not trying to force things. We're just controlling that what we can control.
And what are you looking for from Braden and his team in the last 5 ends?
You know what, it's going to be a tie game coming home for sure. You know what, they've been there, done that. They're going to come right back at us. They're going to play 95% the rest of the way.
All right, Matt. Well, good luck in the last 5.
Thanks, Connor.
So that was Matt Dunstone leading 4-1 on Braden Calvert, the reigning junior champions going head-to-head in this Manitoba final. So in the fifth end break, we have Coach Calvin Eady and Coach Lynn Fallis-Kurz coming out to just chat with their guys about things they need to work on in the second half. Of course, the two teams will be talking about different things. Matt about holding on to his lead, Braden about setting rocks up and trying to battle back. I like the comment from Matt there that he knows that Braden and the boys will be giving them 95%, 100% through the last 5 ends, and they just need to stay patient and keep making shots. So
You almost sent me down. You almost sent me right down. Yeah, let's go for it.
So we're back here with the men's junior final. Matt Dunstone playing the Calvert team. And we've got a real good game so far. It's 4-1 for the Dunstone squad, and I think we're going to see Braden Calvert start to really go after him. So this will be a really exciting finish here.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Braden and his team handles a little bit of adversity after the first 5 ends, trailing. it's definitely been done before. It's a 3-point lead. If they just 2-1-2 them, they're getting back into the game. So we'll look for a lot of peeling by the Dunstone team and a lot of draws from the Calvert team. It's a good shot there from Rob Gordon to put it right in the forefoot after the 5th end break. Like we talked about, they do chamois the ice a little bit, so sometimes it's faster. So good rock for him, putting it right on the top of the floor. That makes it tough for Calvert towards the end to generate a deuce.
Yeah, and I think for Matt Dunstone's team, they're going to be doing a lot of that, throwing it in the house and keeping things as clean as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Matt would be the first to admit that that last end was not their best end. And they're going to be looking to make sure they make those double peels and then really make sure that Braden has no opportunity to get back into this game. Good shot there from Brendan Wilson, getting that corner guard a little bit tighter than the 4th end when we saw him a little bit higher on his guards and they were able to hit him out.
Yeah, so Robbie's going to come right down on that one again. Hopefully get him frozen on the forefoot.
Looks a little bit heavy, and the last thing you want to do is leave a pocket here, so they're going to try to sweep it by. Good call from Matt to make sure that got by. Last thing you want to do as a lead is create a pocket for the other team to freeze in.
Yeah, and a little tickle is fine there. Just good call by Matt to keep it going by.
Interesting thing about this end in this game is the fact that it curls so much on the one side that Braden Calvert, I don't think he can throw with the left-hand corner guard and get around it because it's just not curling there. So the opportunity to throw double guards is just not possible here. So he's going to have to go around in the second round.
Yeah, it certainly makes your shot choices a little different when your one side on the corner guards isn't really accessible.
And good 2 throws there from Brendan. I think you'll see Matt come up and peel the corner.
Yeah, and I think that'll probably be his his go-to move for the rest of the game. He wants to keep things as clean and nice as possible.
So good sweeping by the guys there to hold it.
Yeah, real nice peel.
Just like the 4th end, we're going to see this for a couple shots of guarding and replacing the guard.
Yeah, hoping for a bit of a miss or a half shot, a nose on a peel or a flash. Those are hard to come by, but they do happen.
Slow it down.
So Lucas just putting that guard back up.
And the key with these guards is just to make sure that it's not open. The rock in the rings is not fully open, that Matt decides to hit the one in the rings as opposed to hitting the guard. So same throw for Kyle, out-turn peel.
Yeah, just cleaning it up.
Good throws from Kyle. Those are nicer throws than the peels that he threw in the 5th end, so he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, and those aren't as easy as they look. The out-turn peels they're not that easy. So really good throws by him.
So Luke, just same shot as last one, trying to halfway corner guard.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, a couple good throws from Luke.
Once again, kind of keeping with this holding pattern here.
Yeah, it's important for junior teams once they get in situations like that they make sure they don't rush. Sometimes it's very easy once you're kind of throwing the same shot over and over and over again to get in the hack and rush it when you don't need to. So I think these guys are pretty good at calming themselves back down and making sure they're focused on the broom. This one's gonna be close. Good shot.
Sweepers made it look a little bit more stressful than it was.
So eventually Braden or Matt will have to make a move. I think you'll see Braden maybe after Kurz's throws try to hit and roll away and hope for a nose hit and maybe make a double on his last one. Tough thing playing this Dunstone team is once they get a lead, they're such good hitters that you try to keep your rocks spread out as possible because they're so good at those cross house doubles.
Yeah, certainly not a team that's easy to come back against.
Kyle looks a little heavy out of his hand.
Certainly coming in a little hotter.
Really curling.
Slowing down a little bit.
Really curling.
Should be okay.
Straight PLA.
Certainly a little deeper than they would like it.
Yeah, and I think this is Matt recognizes this is an opportunity to take the complete end away, and with how hard Colton can throw it, they're gonna have a rip at this run double.
What turn do we play? Okay.
Colton throwing that with some steam behind it. Should be close. Oh, missed it
Just missed it.
by an inch. And that's okay. Get the red out of there.
Yeah, good try by Colton on that throw. And we'll see Braden try to spread out his reds a little bit here. Very important that Kyle sticks around.
So as you can see here, he's really, really close on that one. Just missed by a little bit. So a lot of weight and really close to making that shot. So really good try.
So Braden thrown in a straight spot, trying to get a hit and roll.
Certainly not moving as much as you would hope. So nose hit there.
So pretty soft weight on Kyle's, and still didn't curl. So Matt's got to be careful when he throws this nice and hard that he doesn't get into that straight spot and watch it fall back.
Right. Because you have to make contact for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a double that Matt will make 9 out of 10 times. He's just got to slow himself down and make sure that he doesn't fire it too hard and get caught in that straight spot that Kyle's been fighting a little bit.
So pro side miss here, probably hit the nose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely got some heat on it. Gotta be careful.
And just like we said, he just had the spot that he wanted to hit, and he swept it a little bit and got caught in that straight spot. So that's a big break for the Calvert team.
Yeah. And Matt won't be happy with that for sure, but it was a really good try close.
So again, Matt's going to have another opportunity to double no matter where Braden rolls on this one. So biggest thing for Braden is just make sure you make it and make Matt Dunstone throw the double.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, challenge Matt to make those tough shots, and he will make a lot of them, a lot more than most people, but he's not going to make every single shot. So just keep putting a little bit of pressure on him and hope you get your miss when you need it.
So he's just throwing a board waiter.
It's really nice weight for that straight side there.
Oh, and then they lose it. No, that's the perfect shot. That's about as good as Braden could do. So great weight control there from Braden Calvert's team, and good brushing and good line call from Kyle Kurz.
Yeah, and Matt's going to have a shot at this one. it is there. It's pretty thin, but
Thin.
it is makeable.
Yeah, thin half. This is a very big shot to see where this game is going to go. I think if Matt Dunstone is able to make this shot, I like his chances.
Yeah, for sure. If he can, this will sort of take the wind out of the sails of the Calvert team, or could at least. It's a really tough shot. Maybe a little demoralizing, so they'll make it. They don't seem to be very close to it. Just a little too much, and it's going to go over top.
Yeah, so here you go. You see Braden Calvert with a chance for a deuce here.
That's right.
And good patience from the Calvert team this end, just making sure they make their guards good. So Matt Dunstone had nothing to do but rip them and got the break when they needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's against a good team like this, you just gotta jump on those chances when you get them, and I think he did. And I think he'll be very pleased with this end.
So here we go, draw for two to be down one in the Canola Junior Provincial Final. Vandenbosch and Wilson on the sweep.
Should be perfect. Good sweep, good call. Great team shot. Good end for two. So we're going to go to an update on the women's junior final and what's going on over there. They had an absolutely mucky end. There was lots of rocks in play, and Beth had to make a really, really tough shot to get her one. Shannon was sitting one fairly buried behind the guard, and Beth had a nice lightweight shot at it and had to chap off her own, and they sweeped it really, really well, very close to the guards, and absolutely made a pistol and got the one there. So that was a really great shot for one.
Very close to ticking the red and hitting a thin double for three there. So
Yeah.
extremely close to getting that game within 1 point.
Yeah, certainly a tough situation to be put in, but she makes a shot and lives to fight another day. So on to the next end, trying to get that steal.
So Braden Calvert's going to be looking for a similar end to the fifth end where they had tons of guards in play. Brendan Wilson's trying to set up a halfway guard right now.
Yeah, a force would not be a bad situation for the Calvert team. If you can keep forcing ones and getting your twos, you're gonna be in good shape. So that's the goal going forward, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's important for the Dunstone team to realize that that the Braden Calvert team's not going away, and they're going to have to make 8 shots an end and to hold on to this lead. So if they get a deuce, they're back in the driver's seat. Even a 1, they're up 2.
Yeah, just keep things simple and not get it out of hand, right?
So they've been having a little bit of trouble finding the right weight and the right line on this spot. Trying to let this one slow down.
Yeah, as it comes in, it really slows down a little bit, but maybe a little deeper than they wanted it to be, for sure.
Yeah, Rob won't be happy with that shot. So opportunity for Brendan Wilson to get a junky end set up for Braden Calvert.
Yeah, and my feeling would be that especially at this point, that would be to the benefit of the Calvert team to have a little bit more junk in there and keep it a little bit more full of rocks and stuff. Very close.
Looks like Matt's tapping that yellow shot rock. Still a good shot from Brendan Wilson, keeping it on the top of the floor.
Yeah, still gives him lots of options.
It's a big freeze for Rob Gordon if he makes it good, and he redeems himself for going back 4.
Where? Yep. Hard line.
That's why it's nice to throw 2 rocks sometimes. You make a bit of a mistake on the first, you immediately help yourself out.
Good. Yep. Hard to get by. Hard, go. Hard.
Really taking the guard there. Almost going to overcurl.
So not a bad shot by Rob. They're just having a tough time putting the broom in the right spot for that swingy turn. It just seems like if they have the right weight, they're over curling. If they have too much weight, they're just sliding a little bit too far deep, and they don't know, can't find the in between.
That's right. As you can see, they came pretty close to that guard. Could have maybe used a little more room, but it was a good shot nonetheless. Really good sweep.
So Vandenbosch with the corner freeze on the one on the top of the 8-foot. And I think you'll be seeing Matt Dunstone peel.
Yeah, he's probably getting uncomfortable with the amount of guards in there.
53 for right. 53
And a good shot by Vandenbosch.
Might be able to get all of them.
So Matt's looking to go double peel here and maybe catch the one in the rings.
Yeah. Good thing about Matt is he knows his team throws peels so well that he can think about those, extra perks on those double peels sort of thing. So he thinks about all the stuff in the house and all that, where some may just worry about that double peel.
Great shot by Kyle.
Really nice shot.
Even though he didn't get the red one in the rings, he cleared it off a lot for Dunstone, and it's a little less junk in play for the Dunstone team now. So Braden will go up and replace the guard. Very important that the Calvert team make sure that they make these guards good enough that Matt has no choice but to peel them.
Yeah, if you give him the opportunity, I think he will take that red out and might put you in a bit of a tough situation.
Yeah, absolutely. You always want to make sure that your guard that you're throwing is usable. So if you need to get around it on Braden's last one, you can. And that one's a little bit high, so I think you'll see Matt go after it now.
Yeah, and then pro side miss, you get rid of that guard. That's okay too.
Just nice bump. Yeah.
So Kyle's going to throw board weight and try to hit and roll. Looks like he threw it a little bit heavy. It doesn't seem to be curling.
Might be a little less than
There it
board.
goes.
Oh, that one really jumped.
And it works out great. Great shot from Kyle Deering. Two very good throws.
Really
So-
nice shot.
So now you see what I was talking about with the importance of throwing a good guard. With that guard being so high, it's very tough for Kyle Kurz and Braden Calvert to get anything set up for a steal this end.
Yeah, and with the way it curls, you could almost bury it fully and still get to it. So it's maybe not as useful as they'd like.
Yep, so looking for the double and roll.
We don't need to flirt.
Oh, I think they changed the call to the hit and roll in front of the one in the 12-foot.
No, why do you think they did that instead?
I think Braden's hoping that by grouping the stones, he'll get a hit and roll out, and maybe he can use that guard. So they've over-curled this spot a couple times today. They're having a tough time figuring out when it breaks.
Yeah, they certainly were in between both shots there almost. Didn't quite know which one to do.
Wait till I here. Normal.
So eventually Braden will have to make a decision whether he's going to go hard for a steal this end or try to play a double and get a blank. Team Dunstone would be happy with a blank in this end or scoring a deuce.
On the this one early. Really curling.
Good shot by Colton there.
Yeah, nose is not a bad result.
So Kyle's going to be looking to throw maybe a little bit less weight and get a hit and roll under.
Yeah, and maybe make contact with that back yellow if it's in play.
Yeah, big shot here for the Calvert team. This is, they're running out of rocks here.
We're just on that one a little early. Pretty close to getting that back
just
one.
A quarter inch from absolute perfect.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Very
that just seems to be how the day's been going a little bit for Braden Calvert today.
Yeah, just can't seem to get those breaks. And they were really, really close to this one. That back one was about a centimeter off, so it really couldn't make it a whole lot better.
So big shot here from Colton.
Yeah, once again, a really good chance for this Dunstone squad to take a bit of control here. And he's hoping to roll away from this one pretty good. They're trying to get away from that guard, I think. Just causing them a little bit of grief.
And very, very nice shot from Colton Lott there.
That's exactly what they wanted.
So, decision to be made for Braden Calvert. And I think because the guard is so long, he's going to have to play a hit and roll.
Yeah, as we saw there, I bet it was fairly close to being buried, and Matt could still get to it.
Yeah, it's just too high of a guard. There's just too much curl.
So Braden just trying to get the hit and roll here.
Yeah, important to stick around for sure to at least make Matt throw it.
Just tracking a little bit out there and get the nose hit.
So with the nose hit, Braden Calvert's going to have to decide if he wants to take on a real thin double. And either way, Matt Dunstone will be getting a force or a deuce.
Yeah, this end is gone pretty much according to plan if you're Team Dunstone. They have a shot at two. It's hard to tell so far, but for sure they'll have a shot for something at the end. It won't be a hero shot needed. Sweepers on and off. You want to be careful with that straight turn out there. Beautiful.
Good.
Yeah, perfect shot from Matt Dunstone there.
Good. Nice brush.
So I think you'll see Braden Calvert take on the slash double here.
Double, he's got an easy deuce. Half rock. Half rock? Heel?
Yeah, and either way, I think Dunstone will be happy with this. He's going to get either a
Little left.
If he makes it, it'll be a blank.
Little
If he
left,
doesn't,
yeah.
it'll be a double. So, I mean, two. So he will be happy with the way this end went. And for Calvert, it's important just to make the shot. You know,
Then half.
throw the right weight and hit the broom, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, expect them to be close on this one.
Yep. Wow.
A little too thick, and it'll be a draw for two to take the 3-point lead back from Matt Dunstone.
Yeah, just I think a little tight from the get-go. They were sweeping it the whole way. So
Yeah, he just didn't quite get out to it there, so we'll listen in as Matt Dunstone has a draw for two.
How to throw it? Tighter.
Matt here with a open shot for 2. Really what he was hoping for in this end, so pretty happy to take this one.
Yeah, great end from the Dunstone ring.
Yeah, they're playing very strong right now.
Nice throw.
It's deep, but it should be fine.
Nice shot. Same thing.
So we're gonna go show you the last shot by Beth Peterson. Oh, sorry, we're at Burchard's last shot in this end here. And she's trying her best to get the 4-foot here to cut down the steal here. The Peterson squad has quite a few yellows in there, but
So drawing against 3, it looks like the Peterson team had a very good end.
that 4-foot's open, so just gotta hit it. Not quite
And
getting that curl you need.
like we saw earlier today, that just doesn't curl in that spot, and we have a tie game.
Yes, I believe that's a steal of 3 there, so that's tie game on sheet 4. We'll keep you updated on that one.
Wow.
It's a big end.
Oh, we got a question from Alex Forrest on at Curl Manitoba. First team to fall in Burner Rock wins. If anybody knows Alex Forrest, he's the second for the Jeff Stoughton team that I curl on, and I have this year fell on a rock and we still won a game. I also did this in juniors and fell on a rock and we still won. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm 2-0 at falling on a rock, so I'm thinking first team out here to fall on a rock today has probably got the win.
So there you go. Maybe we should go down and tell somebody.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think you have trouble staying on your feet? Is there any reason, or?
I think I try so hard out there that I think I'm putting my heart into it so much that's why I fall over sometimes.
Oh, that must be it. Yeah. It's all heart.
So here we are in the 8th end of the Canola Junior Men Provincial Final. Matt Dunstone with a big end to secure his 3-point lead. So Braden Calvert here, he's got a couple 3 ends to battle back. Really looking for a deuce.
Yeah. Once again, I think the game plan for Matt and them is to keep everything as clean as possible. So they're going to be hitting guards and hitting any red rocks they can.
Yeah, and again, like we talked about earlier today, it's too hard for Braden to throw the double corners. Most times down 3, you would see him probably throw 2 corners. But that side of the sheet, to get around the corner guard would just be impossible, so he's going to go around here.
Yeah, and I don't think, I don't think they need to rush and try and get a 4-pointer here. They get there too, and they should be okay. They just need to take things a little bit slower and make sure they're concentrating on making their shots. They're just making too many half shots to keep up with this Dunstone team at the moment.
Good shots by Brendan Wilson there.
Yeah, really nice too.
And Matt Dunstone indicating that they are shot 1 and 2, which is a big deal for when Braden Calvert has to play in the rings. It's a big difference between moving 1 rock that's shot rock and 2 rocks. So Kyle During, like he's done before, out-turn peel.
Yeah, Kyle Doring's getting very good at this shot. Beautifully made.
And beside those 2 throws that he had in the 5th end, he's having a great game today, Kyle.
Yeah, that's certainly true. He's making a lot of peels. He throws that up weight so nicely. And I think that's consistent with the whole team. That team really throws big weight and hits very well. They play a fairly defensive game, and they pride themselves on being good hitters.
So Lucas, he's throwing this out-turned corner guard. He's thrown it about 800 times this game. So expect him to be close.
So we're expecting a make out of this one.
And good shot by him.
Yes, we promise this is not a rerun of the past few ends. This is just working out to be the very similar ends, and I think that's just because they're both going for the same thing as they were in the fifth.
So 2 good throws from Kyle there. And Braden will be replacing the guard again. So Lucas is going to look to put this in the same spot as the last one. Again, like we said, important that they make these guards all the time, because if they get an opportunity like they did last end where the guard was missed, Dunstone was able to get a generated deuce and take away the end from Calvert. So extremely important, even when they're losing, that they focus and buckle down and make sure these guards are made real good.
Absolutely. And I think it is tougher because they have been throwing these shots over and over again, and it seems a little bit redundant, but the second you miss them, Dunstone will jump on that. So they're doing a good job of making sure they buckle down and make those shots really well.
So another outturn peel here from Colton Watt.
They're working on this one a little bit more, but it should be fine.
Yeah, with the amount of weight these guys throw, they can hit a solid half of a rock, even probably almost 3/4, and still roll out. So pretty safe throws from those guys. So Kyle Kurz, we saw him slip into the rings the last time he threw this corner guard, so he'll want to take a couple extra seconds in the hack and make sure he puts this one in a good spot.
Yeah, and you saw him stand up and get ready, so I think he's aware of that, and he's really taking his time with this one, which is important.
Yeah, both these teams have great pre-shot routines, and we talk about that a lot in junior curling, is trying to avoid the distractions that are going on and really buckling down. When it's your 30 seconds to throw your shot, you kind of step into your bubble and do your pre-shot routine and forget about everything else, and I think both these teams do such a good job of that.
Yeah, absolutely, and those distractions are intensified when there's so many people here to watch, and you have all the cameras and everything around you. So I think that's even more so important in these big games like this final is.
Wow, and that's a miss from Colton Mott that you don't see every day.
Yeah, and there's that little miss we were talking about. Those are the kind of things that Braden is waiting for.
Yeah, and it's really important now for Kyle to take an extra second and make sure that he makes a good one here and capitalizes on a mistake that you don't see very much from the Dunstone team.
Yeah, and just like you have been all game, make sure you're taking advantage when there's those misses. That's a very essential part of playing against these great teams.
And Braden's just trying to decide how not to give Matt an easy double.
Yeah, it certainly is something you have to think about with this great hitting team. Braden thinks out the curling game really, really well. He calls a really nice game, so he's really thoughtful about all that stuff.
Yeah, I would say both the two skips we have in the final today are two of the best junior skips at thinking the game over for sure. They're very methodical and always a couple steps ahead of where they need to be. Oh no,
That's too bad.
that's a big miss for Kyle. Not one you see him make or miss all too often.
Yeah, and once again, that's a big opportunity missed, and he'll for sure be wanting that one back.
And like we talked about earlier, when you do get misses out of these two teams, it's very important for the other team to buckle down and make sure that they make the team pay for missing. And Kyle was unfortunately unable to do that, and Colton Watts missed there.
Absolutely. So Matt just going to make this red go away and keep the house fairly yellow in his vision.
Keep the broom down.
You hear Matt say, keep the broom down. It's starting to get to that spot where we had a couple picks earlier, and we want to make sure that everything is staying pretty clean.
Clean. Whoa! No! No! Clean! Yep! Yep!
So nice throw there from Matt.
Yeah, nice and easy. Very well done.
So, and I think we'll try to see Braden Calvert try to manufacture a deuce out of something, some sort of draw here.
Try and blank. Get 2 and 9. Yeah, that's pretty easy for him, isn't it? I guess half there.
Yeah, and I think this is a really neat time to listen in on what they think.
Like the double and roll? What about the double and roll? Then he picks it, we blank.
And you can hear a little bit of frustration in Braden's voice. The blank isn't exactly what they were looking for when they started off this end.
Like that?
Yeah,
Just soft nose, right?
certainly tough to swallow those pills
Normal.
sometimes, but you got to take your lumps and, you know, take what you're given. So he's going to make this double and roll and hope he has a shot at 2, but if not, he can maybe make a blank here.
So a little tight out of his hand maybe, trying to hold it in the straight spot.
We're going to make the double and no roll, but that's okay.
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't get the roll there. Braden would have really liked the roll to try to force Matt to pick it and wouldn't be able to stick a shooter. But I don't know if he could have made the double and roll with that much weight. I thought he would have thrown it a little bit harder.
Soft normal. Right on nose.
Here goes Matt with his nose hit.
Clean. Whoa! No! No!
So again in the straight spot here.
Curl. Sit. Sit.
It might have stuck around there. But Calvert may have not an impossible shot, but a tricky shot for the blank here.
Yeah, and that worked out pretty good for Matt. This is a very tough shot for Braden for the blank.
Thick half. We get blank.
Hear him say a
What,
thick half,
Third? Then half? Get.
thin half for the blank.
Somewhere around a half at least. Certainly got the weight.
Oh!
And a little thick, and he sticks it for 1.
Yeah, that's certainly not what they were hoping there, but you know, it's time to buckle up and try and get some steals here.
So the Calvert boys are going to be looking to go steal here to get it to an extra end and see what happens.
Yeah, it's junior curling. There's lots of game to be played. So, okay, so we're gonna move over actually, and during this start of the men's, we're gonna move over and look at the female final here.
So that rock on the tee line was just thrown by Beth Peterson. She just haired the one in the top of the 8-foot. And I'm not sure if she got shot rock, but either way, it's frozen on there solid. So Shannon's looking at maybe playing an in-off here.
Yeah, this is just in my few peeks over, this is turning into a real whale of a game. This has been really exciting. So we're just going to watch the end of this one here.
So she'll be looking to hit about an eighth of this rock and redirect onto the one on the top of the button. If she hits about a quarter, she could go onto the yellow and punch her own red out. So she's got to be careful on how she throws this rock. If she makes it, it's very good. If she hits it a hair too thick, it could turn out really bad for her. So Shannon's got to be pay attention and be careful to how she's going to make her miss this shot.
And remember, this is a really tricky spot out there. It sort of snakes in there, so you got to be really patient and careful with this line call. But Shannon can for sure make these shots, so it's going to be really, really close.
So this is Shannon Burchard's first rock, 8th end, tie game in the Manitoba Canola Growers Junior Women's Final.
Yeah, certainly got the weight, lots of weight. Oh, and it's just too much.
Just a little too thick, and like I was saying, if she hit that a hair thinner, she was going to move her redstone, and I think the redstone is shot rock, so
that's actually not a terrible, it's not a terrible, it could have been worse for Shannon, so that's not the end of the world.
So I think Beth might be playing the same shot. I'm not sure, I didn't see what she called there.
I know she's taking enough line to either be a guard or in that draw in. I'm not sure which she's chosen, but certainly both could work.
And if you are just joining us now, Beth Peterson was trailing 4-0 in this game and has come back to tie the game at 4-4.
Yeah, with a big steal of 3 in the 7th end, as you can see right there. Yeah, tied it up. So that's really turning into a whale of a game, and that's great because their game this morning at 8:30 wasn't as good as they had hoped, and this one's shaping up to be a really nice one.
So, throwing a guard here.
Yeah, certainly got to start curling a bit, but it should. It's coming down a little bit.
They should almost be sweeping it to corner freeze the red.
And that's where it'll end up, which is a good spot.
That's a great spot from Beth Peterson. 2 great throws. And it looks like Shannon Burchard will have a tough draw to the side of the button for a deuce or for 1. We're not sure who's shot there again.
Yeah, and for those of you who have not been watching or didn't see our 12:15 game, this may look like an easy shot to you, but as you can see by the ice there, it does not move very much. So it's a actually deceivingly tricky shot there. You got to take barely any ice and sweep it to feather the guards, basically. So this will be a really tough shot. But once again, she's got a little bit of backing there, and could be for 2 or 1. We're not sure.
So those of you who don't know, Shannon is a 2-time national silver medalist. Once as a skip playing 3rd and once as a skip. So she's got lots of experience in big games like this.
Yes, and actually the other team she's playing, Beth Peterson, this is their first provincial final. So certainly Shannon has that pedigree that maybe the other team doesn't. And in certain shots like this, that can be a real big asset.
The line coming in looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's really close. It shouldn't move too much. May not have the weight for it.
Fortunately, she looks a little bit light. So, 1 yellow.
1 yellow. So that was a really, really beautiful shot by Beth that happened just before we joined. So
Unbelievable freeze by Beth Peterson.
it's a really big steal. So momentum in that game on the Beth Peterson side, but as we know, anything can happen and things can change and turn around quickly. So that's a really interesting game going forward. And now we're going to move back to ours.
So, back to the men's game. All the guards were made, and Kyle During just made a single peel, so there's a couple rocks in play here, and Braden Calvert's going to be going hard for a steal here. Sometimes in the ninth end, when a team is down and they're going hard for a steal, you see a big end crack the other way. So just watch for something interesting happening in this end.
Yeah, there certainly isn't going to be a lot of hits by the Calvert team, and Dunstone's going to be careful with what he's doing too. So this is going to be a really interesting end. Yeah,
I think Braden's going to have to take a few risks in this next end and the 10th end to try to get back into this game. And unfortunately, with Luke sliding a little deep here, he gives an opportunity for During to make a double peel and virtually take a steal off the board.
Yeah, certainly Kyle's going to hope to get 2 of them.
So, outturn peel for Kyle. And this is the straight spot.
I've heard you say outturn peel for Kyle quite a few times, so he's thrown them. He's used to them. Oh, very close. Very close to that one, just a touch thin.
So, break for the Calvert team, and if they throw a good guard here, then they're going to have a chance to maybe wrap one around. So it's important for the Calvert team to place these guards as high as possible, as to not give Colton Lott the chance to run it in and get a couple of guards away.
Yeah, once again, you got to make sure that you're placing those exactly where you need them, because both teams are just so good, they're not going to miss easy shots. So you got to make sure that you are very, very careful with where you put things. Certainly a situation that Dunstone was hoping he'd be in this ninth end, but once again, anything can happen.
So good shot there from Kyle. And you see there's a little bit more separation than when Kyle During went to go throw. So Colton's going to have a rip at it. It looks like Matt's going to give it a go. Kyle wants to come and see. He just needs a break from sweeping.
He's tired. But I heard his cardio was really good.
This is true.
Yeah, and I think as Kyle holds the broom, he's got quite a bit of input in the game plan and stuff like that, and I think that's good for a third to have, is be a part of that game plan, so that Matt isn't saddled with all of that responsibility of calling every single shot.
Yeah, absolutely, and these guys are both playing on 38 minutes thinking time, and they both have over 10 minutes playing the ninth end, which is tons of time. So expect these next ends to have a couple of discussions, because neither team is running low on time here.
A little bit of a positive release there, but there'll be shots for him.
So a tough one to call there, because it just falls back the entire way. So again, good shot by Kyle Kurz and a small miss from Colton Lott, and they're going to throw one more guard here.
Yeah, and I think all Braden's worried about right now is getting one steal, right? Steal of one, and then they're going to get one right after that, I think.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep themselves alive here in the final.
High as you can, guys. High as you can.
So another good shot from Kyle, keeping lots of separation in between the guards. And
Hey.
I think you'll see Colton throw the same shot as last time.
7-8 still.
Yeah, he's putting those right where they need to be, and I think that's not an easy thing to do.
Whoa. No.
Once again, that's just hitting a little too thin and getting the one out.
So it'll be interesting to see. I think Braden Calvert needs to make a decision now on what he needs to do. Looking at tapping that one on the right to the top of the four. Ideally, he wants to make Matt look at one buried or maybe two on Matt's last shot.
Yeah, ideally he wants Matt throwing a pretty tough shot to get his one. It's time to, sort of really go for it here, and take a real tough shot and make Matt have to throw something tough.
Goal line. Goal line. It'll curl. It'll curl. Real close. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Go, go, go. Hard. Go, 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 go. Hard, hard, hard. Hard.
And not quite as deep as Braden would have liked to get that. I think he might have left Matt Dunstone a triple.
Yeah, it's not an easy shot, but it is for sure makeable. And even if he gets 2 out, it's not. It's pretty much mission accomplished for Matt. And as anyone who knows, Matt Dunstone knows he loves to throw these shots. So giving him that opportunity is maybe not the greatest idea in the world.
I expect him to be close on this one.
You got to play it. Yeah, no, I think you want to try that way? No. That's pretty hard to get them at down. Yeah. Top rock. Yep. Yep.
Certainly a lot of weight.
Just rubs it over. Probably worst case scenario there.
Yeah, and with that weight, it's almost impossible to not get it out, but he just hit the edge of it, so stays in and is now shot. So this is going to give Braden a chance to really come around that center guard, which is really tight. If he puts it top 4, it'll definitely put a lot of pressure on Matt's last shot.
So they've had a little bit of trouble with this spot in the ice, so if you're going to make one here, this is definitely the time to make it, so expect Braden to be close. So Braden's last rock in the 9th end of this 2015 Canola Growers Junior Men's Provincial Championship.
We've had a really good game so far. Just a few too many misses by the Calvert team, but things are really turning around for them.
They're playing this one,
really close to the guard.
playing that one tight. I think it was a little bit heavier than they wanted, but great shot from Braden. And it looks like Matt's going to take a run at the slash here.
Looking at it. Yeah, right here. Quarter rock. So give me ice right there then. Okay, let's make it.
Yeah, I think Matt's first instinct is usually to hit something.
Quarter
So
rock.
this is probably a Matt Dunstone shot for sure.
Yeah, I think being up 2 it makes this shot getting rid of 1 red is fine. Giving up a steal of 1 is fine for Matt. And I think he knows that. I think if it was a tie game, you'd see him play a different shot. But right now we got a quarter rock slash double.
Whoa! Whoa! No!
Throwing a lot of weight on him.
Yeah!
Oh dear.
Wow, and huge miss from Matt Dunstone there on the last rock. And I wonder if that top one was in.
Yeah, he threw a lot of weight at it. Just a little bit out and didn't come back. Especially, it's so hard. It's hard to come back from that.
Steal of 2 for Braden Calvert in the 9th end.
Well, that certainly makes things a little more interesting. Yeah, it's too bad. I think it's possible that Matt just got excited about that one and threw a little bit more weight than he maybe needed.
Yeah, just that spot just seems to be falling back a little bit too, and I think he was trying not to protect it too much that he didn't have a shot at making it, and just was a little bit wide and gave up the steal of 2. So here we go, game on, tie game, last end.
Yeah, and I think it was important for Matt to have that meeting with his team and say, sorry about that, boys, and we're going to move on, right? They still have Last Rock tied coming home, so they aren't in a bad situation. They just need to flush that shot and move along.
Yeah, so very important for the Braden Calvert and the Matt Dunstone team to just take their time in these last couple rocks, because I think they're both a little bit surprised on how that night then turned out. So a good shot there from Brendan Wilson.
Yeah, certainly, and I think we're probably going to see Robbie Gordon try the tick shot here.
Yeah, they actually they played the tick shot earlier in the exact same scenario earlier today in the 1-1 game and were unsuccessful, so I'm not surprised to see them going top 4 this time.
We're going to quickly go over to the girls' game and show you this last shot here. This is getting to a point where things are getting tight, and the Beth Peterson squad is, of course, sitting 1, but there's a lot of rocks in play for red too, so there's not. It's getting to a head at this point.
So last rock here for Robin. She unfortunately flashed on her first one, so she's looking to make a good freeze here and kind of get the Beth Peterson team out of a jam.
Yeah, certainly they need a lot more. They need more yellows in there than there are, so it looks a little up at this point. And that unprotected yellow isn't going to be a whole lot of help to them.
So there it goes, starting to curl. So important to get it in for second shot. And they left it short, so opportunity for Shannon Burchard to lie 4.
Yeah, sticker, a little flop away is okay.
Yeah, it certainly is. It will be to her benefit to be lying as many as possible. I don't think they're necessarily trying for a 4-ender at this point, but the more you can lie, the easier it will be to get your 2 or 3. So that's what they're hoping for at this point.
Yeah, and we see the team Dunstone has called a timeout on the boys' final right now, or team Braden Calvert has called a timeout on the boys' final right now, just trying to decide where to put that second guard. So Jenna Boisvert, her last rock, and a little bit of a break there for the Peterson team as she hits and rolls out.
Yeah,
so
it might be time for Beth might try hitting here, because it would be nice for them to get some reds out.
Yeah, she'll be looking to maybe go wide intern double, maybe, or run that yellow one in that Robin just threw. So it looks like they're playing the intern double. This is the spot that we covered at 12:15 today that curled, so it will be interesting to see how much ice Beth takes for this rock.
Yeah, unless something's changed on the ice, which does happen sometimes. So as we just saw with Robin's shot, that curled a little bit more than we had seen this afternoon. So maybe the ice has changed a little bit, but certainly this will curl more than anything else.
And in the men's game, Braden Calvert has decided to throw a high guard, a 1 guard just over the hog line.
Yeah, so they're just trying to get as many guards in as possible. They have to steal one here, so they're gonna take it pretty hard.
So Beth Peterson, her first rock in the 9th end of the Canola Junior Women Provincial Final.
Really close. Got to get that back red out. That's a really good shot.
Great shot from Beth Peterson to limit the damage here that Shannon Burchard was building up in the 9th end. So good shot from Beth, and Shannon looks like she's trying to split the rings.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that Beth's up 1 right now. So it's not the end of the world if they give up a 2, because they will be down 1 coming home with. So that's a pretty good result for them, and that's a really nice shot by Beth in reverse. No, here it is. It's a really good throw. And she makes a nice double here. Almost gets a triple, but that was just too good to be true, I think.
Just needed to eat her Wheaties this morning, and she would have made the triple.
That's right. Yeah. She needed to be Kevin Martin.
Regardless, good shot from Beth. So Shannon's looking to split the rings here and secure that deuce.
Absolutely. And just to keep you updated on the men, they're coming around those two high guards now. So Robbie Gordon is coming around that guard, as you can see.
So on Rob's first one, he came back 12, which is a little bit heavier than what it would like. Brendan Wilson made a good guard. And it looks like Rob is going to rebound with a great draw.
Yeah, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on that Calvert squad. Now they got to make sure for Shannon's shot here that it goes far enough back that they're not going to have a double, and it looks like it really has. So that's a really great shot. And now Beth's going to try and roll over.
So good shot there from Shannon. Good rebound after the other skip makes a good shot.
Yeah.
So it's deep enough that Beth has no double. So she's looking to play a hit and roll. Maybe roll into a spot that she thinks Shannon will roll out in.
Or possibly roll behind cover, so she has to take the one.
Yeah, and I think we saw this sheet earlier before, and it seems to fall. So if Beth is able to roll across the center line, it's going to be a very tricky shot for Shannon to hit and stick for two.
Absolutely.
On the men's side, Lucas Vandenbosch playing a freeze. They're sweeping it as hard as they can to try to get it there.
Really close.
And just comes up a little bit light. So important to note that yellow is still line 2. There's one in the just back 12 foot, and there's one at the top of the 4 foot. So they are yellow is line 2.
So here comes Beth's shot here. Just making sure that they're making contact for sure. The roll would be great, but contact definitely needs to be made so that you limit the damage. It's not anything more than a 2. And Beth comes in with that nice bumper weight. And
good shot from them. She doesn't quite get the roll in for shot, so it looks like Shannon's going to be drawing.
Yeah, and that's certainly not the result Beth was hoping for, but
and Kyle During with the double peel attempt, and he just gets the one. So interesting end building up on the men's final here too. Braden Calvert's got a couple of guards up and an opportunity to really warp one around back 4 foot.
Yeah, this curling is certainly keeping us busy. It's hard to keep your eyes on one thing. They're both going really cool. So yeah, Shannon has a nice shot at the 4 foot here, and all she needs is full 8. She should be able to make this one.
While Shannon throws his draw, Lucas Vandenbosch is trying to draw around everything back button. Very important draw for the Calvert team if they're going to try to steal this end.
Yeah, and certainly not an easy one, but with the way it's curling, it's definitely possible.
And Shannon's draw for 2 coming down the ice. Jenna coming out to help. And I don't know if it's going to get there.
Close. Really working it. Oh,
And
not
she's light.
just not enough. That's too bad. But really nice sweep. Really nice try.
Good sweeping from the Shannon Burchard team there, and it's a one score for Shannon. So we are tied going into the last end. Peterson has hammer.
And so now we're going to go back full time to our men's game, watch the end there, and then I'm sure we'll catch you up on the women's final after that. Don't go anywhere.
So timeout has been called from the Dunstone team. So let's listen in. Oh, sorry, they haven't called a timeout. They're just talking about it here. We'll see what they have to say.
Or even this. I don't like that. Okay. Well, what's wrong with this then? And if you straight peel, you straight peel.
So what do you want to try and do? You want to get rid of our 2 and...
Just slice the 3 across. You can definitely pick it across the face of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Right here. Nose is an end of the world. You're looking at about 3/4 here. Straight peel's fine, Kyle. 3/4.
Yeah, what a great conversation between the two of them. Like I said, Kyle has a lot of input in the game plan, and Matt asked him, if you like this, and Kyle said, I don't like that at all, and that's really important to be able to take your team's preferences into it too, because they're throwing the rocks and you want them to be comfortable with it. So I think that was a really neat conversation to be part of.
Yep! Whoa! 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 Yep! Yep!
Really close.
So great try from Kyle During there. Just a little bit of an oversweep. Extremely tough to call those ones, especially in that spot where it's falling back. So
yeah, and I don't think that's the end of the world for the Dunstone team. They should be okay with that. It's not a terrible result. But certainly things heating up for the Dunstone squad after that big steal of 2.
Yeah, interesting end shaping up here for the final. For both finals, actually.
Yeah, we really are getting a treat here. Holy man.
So, Braden Calvert just asking Kyle Kurz to replace that guard. And I imagine that you'll see Colton Lott try the same shot that Kyle During just played. Again, now that the Braden Calvert team has a little more jump in their step, it's really important that they slow themselves down and make these guards good. I know for a little while it was looking a little grim for those boys, so once they get that steal of 2, the adrenaline's pumping. So really important for Kyle to just take some time, make sure he gets these guards in good spots.
Yeah, there's been a few of these guards that he is that haven't ended up as he'd like them, so making sure that take time to do your pre-shot routines like we were talking about.
So boys haven't laid a brush to it, but it looks like it's slowing down okay. That's a good shot from Kyle Kurz.
Really nice shot.
So Matt looking to try to move something in the rings there a little bit.
Yeah, I think Matt just wants to simplify things for himself later.
So Colton bringing the heat.
Oh, really close.
And that's same as Kyle, just missed it by just half an inch. To the viewers at home, that intern draw that Colton's rock rolled to, it doesn't curl very much, so he didn't take away too much of a draw there by only rolling a couple feet.
Yeah, and you know what? It was a really good result. I think that's the way you want to miss it. That's a pro side miss for sure, and he doesn't need to be worried about that. I don't think. It was a really close throw.
So same throw here for Kyle, same spot.
Yeah, and I think you're probably going to see Colton throw the same shot again. Try for a little bit better of a result, but yeah, I think we'll keep up with that for a little bit longer.
So this one's got a little bit more line, and they don't want to leave an angle for Colton so that he can rip it in there.
Trying to get a little finish out of it at the end.
So pretty good shots there from Kyle Kurz. I think it's time for Matt to do what he was thinking and playing that 1 in the 12-foot. Timeout has been called.
Yeah, and I think Matt just wants to take a little bit more time with this and get somebody else involved too.
So we'll listen to Calvin Eady come out and talk to them in their timeout.
No? Yeah. Do you like this now? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, then I can just rip that again.
I don't mind that.
I kind of like being shot now.
Then he's going to try and outdraw us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if he makes it peach, what do we do?
Well, I still got that cross face there. That's definitely there. No. Like, what about here?
I like that. That's what you like that?
And if we touch the guard, we touch the guard.
Yeah, I guess so. You're going to have to throw this.
Out turn.
The out turn cross.
Like if you hit it in the same spot, you just threw it.
Yeah. That's a peach. Just cross the nose of it.
Do you like peel?
It does. Okay.
Do you like peel or do you like just normal?
Normal? Yeah. Okay, guys, I gotta go. We got time.
Normal up?
So good conversation there from the Dunstone team, kind of deciding their options, deciding if they wanted
Normal then?
to play a bumper weight shot and try to get shot. But it looks like
Normal, okay, guard's fine here.
looks like Colton can see enough of the one in the top 12 that they're going to try to over
Pretty much got to just sliver it almost, eh?
over curl it and make the double. And if he
That's
does,
pretty close.
the Dunstone team's in pretty good shape to
Hey,
win
you
this
like
game.
normal?
Yeah, and I think they,
Okay, throw
like
good.
Matt was saying, guard's okay. If you hit the guard, it's not the end of the world. Get that guard out of there and
Let's make it.
live to make another shot.
bad break there for the Dunstone rink.
Yeah, that really, really took off. That's too bad.
I'm not sure if that picked, or I think Colton's saying it picked in his hand.
Yeah, it certainly curled a lot more than they thought it would, so that would certainly make sense.
So bad break there for the Dunstone team. Matt still has an opportunity to run a guard in on his first one and clear things out, but certainly not what they were looking for out of there, and that's not really what you want to see in a provincial final, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's certainly not what you're hoping to see. That's too bad,
But the guys need to regroup here. There's 2 shots left. Matt's got 2 shots, and he's made a couple beauties in his lifetime before, so.
Absolutely. And you know what? It certainly could have happened at a worse time, so you just flush that away and move on.
So Braden Calvert looking to replace the guard here.
Yeah, and they've been fairly successful with these guards, so
They got to go
keep it
on
up.
this one. They got to work on this one to get it over.
It'll be over.
And good sweeping by the front end there to get it over.
Yeah, real nice sweep. It's those two are going to be tired, but that's okay. That's a good throw. Yeah, so once again, Matt's trying to figure out with his team what he's thinking.
Braden put that guard in a pretty interesting spot. It's so high that it's almost tempting Matt to come into the rings and move the one on the top of the 8-foot, which I think is a very good call. But if Matt ever tickles the guard here, he's going to be looking at a very tough shot on his last one.
Yeah, you certainly have to throw enough that if you do hit the guard, it's going to go.
And we can tell you in the girls' game, Shannon Burchard is lying 1 behind a guard, half in the 4-foot, and the Peterson team is peeling.
Yeah, and as soon as we're done here, we'll switch you over and watch the end of that.
So, board waiter here for Matt Dunstone.
Nice throw. And make sure they're not on it too early. Certainly have some room.
A little bit harder than I thought he was going to throw.
Well, control weight.
Hard, Kyle! Hard! Hard!
So, good shot there from Matt.
It's a very good shot.
And great shot on the girls. Robin made a run back takeout, moving the shot stone on the 4-foot to the edge of the 8-foot. So
That's a beautiful shot. Really, really, really nice.
So here we go. Braden Calvert, last rock of the 2015 Canola Junior Men's Provincial Final. Reigning junior champ, looking to go top of the button.
Yeah, and really give Dunstone a really hard shot at that one.
Interesting thing about Matt's first one is he didn't move the rock that he hit out for second shot. So if Braden was to miss the rings here, Matt still cannot just remove the shot rock in the 4-foot and win the game. He will have to draw probably no matter what. So Braden Calvert in the hack, trying to put it right on the top of the button.
Seems to like it out of his hand. They're going on it. They're really sweeping this one hard.
It's over curling. It looks like it's going to be a little bit light.
Yeah, it's really, really moving out of his hands. Not sure what happened with that one, but it really, really moved.
They're having issues with that spot all game, over curling on it. So here we go. We're going to go live and listen in on the last rock to win the 2015 Canola Growers
Same weight I just
Junior
threw.
Provincial Championship.
Just threw it. Bumper right here?
I think so.
Right here. Yep. Yep. Same weight? Yeah. Yeah.
Last rock.
Clean.
2015 Canola Growers Junior Championship.
Certainly needs to move. Should move.
See a little bit heavy.
Just a little too much weight.
And reigning junior champion Braden Calvert steals 2 and steals 1 in the 10th end to win the 2015 Canola Growers Junior Men's Provincial Championship.
That's a great game. Really, really well played. That's unfortunate for Matt. I know he definitely can make those shots, but it was a really well played game by everybody, and really good week of curling for that team there. And congratulations to the Calvert squad. They played really well, and you know what? Stuck through some really tough times and did a really good job.
So we're gonna go live to the Junior Women's Provincial Championship. First rock for Beth Peterson here in the 10th end, tie game.
She's trying to come around the guards here and stay in the top 8. She's just making sure that she has a opportunity on her next one.
And they oversweep it a little bit.
Yeah, it's coming a little heavy. You almost want it out as far as you can now.
So not a bad shot there, getting shot rock, but leaves the door open for Shannon to make another draw. So if you didn't see our 12-15 game, you are looking right. That is how much the ice curls on this one side of the sheet. So Shannon's going to be throwing at the boards on her throw here.
Yeah, and it certainly is it's a tough spot out there. It curls a lot, so the weight is not a simple one, but she just threw the shot, so she gets another chance at it here.
Needs to be full 8 foot or bite the 4 foot to be shot rock.
Yeah, and she's really hoping to make this a really tough one on Beth.
She just threw this and was and touched the guard. So the line looks better on this one.
Yeah, it certainly needs to move, but it will. It will. But it just
And she
doesn't move
touches
when
the
it
guard.
needs to.
So Beth Peterson wins the 2015 Canola Growers Women Provincials.
So congratulations to them. That's a really, really good week they had.
So 2 comebacks in our final for the 2015 Canola Growers. One from 4-0, one down 4-1.
Just shows you it's never over till it's over, I'm afraid.
Here she comes. I got her.
And again, a great week from Shannon. That's actually their first loss this week, so they played unbelievable. Just really, really good week, and they had.
And like we said before, these girls have been together 10 years. This is their last year as juniors, so you can imagine they're pretty excited to win this one.
Yeah, and that's Beth, Melissa, and Robin are all cousins, so very exciting for them, and very exciting for Brienne too, I'm sure, even though she's not in the family. Very well done.
Thank you for joining us at our 2015 Canola Growers Junior coverage. And coming up right away will be the award ceremony for the winners and the finalists. So just to recap our 2015 winners, the Braden Calvert team, lead Brendan Wilson, second Lucas Vandenbosch, third Kyle Kurz, skip Braden Calvert, coach Lynn Fallis Kurz, and our Canola Growers Junior Women's Provincial Champion, lead Brianne Yozenko, second Melissa Gordon, third Robin Negavan, skip Beth Peterson, and coach Jack Gordon.
Yeah, a really good week for both of them. Congratulations, that was really, really 2 well-curled games. That was unbelievable. Really good curling to watch, and came down to the last rock for both of us. So can't ask for much more from us sportscasters here.
So stick around for the awards presentation. They're just going to get set up.
Yeah, I think finally the Negavan wall will have a Robin Negavan jacket on it, so that's very exciting.
Yeah, they're sitting back waiting. No, they're not.
group hugs going on here.
So lots of hugs to go all around everybody, and all these juniors curl a lot together, so they know each other very well, and it's always really exciting to see everybody, happy to see each other win and all that grand stuff.
So we could have Braden Calvert will be going for a repeat. He was the last year's national winner. So he'll be going for a repeat. I don't think that has been done since Charlie Thomas out of Alberta.
Yes, and Beth will be going to her first nationals, of course, and that's also very exciting. They have curled really well against national teams when they've had the chance, so it's very exciting for everybody involved, I'm sure. Do you still remember the first time you went to nationals? How was that?
Absolutely. I mean, winning the Manitoba Junior Provincials is something that you'll never forget, and it's a great feeling to get that buffalo on your back. And I know both teams have worked very hard for it. I remember going to nationals, just so excited to meet everybody, and it's such a cool experience. Something that in juniors that you'll never compare to anything else, and I'm sure both of these teams will represent Manitoba extremely well.
Yes, I'm sure you're true. And just another note on that, to the two finalist teams as well, they worked just as hard and got just as far, especially you've all watched the games with us. They were so close, and it just shows you this is a true game of inches, and really, really, really well done by the other two teams, and I'm sure they'll be back. There's no doubt about that.
So we're going to listen in at the award ceremony for the 2015 Canola Growers Junior Provincial Championship.
Braden, your team closest to the side here.
You know it's coming to Newfoundland with us.
Come a little bit forward, guys.
This way?
No, not you. Matt, can you get your team to slide down along the side over there? You guys slide over so the girls can come in here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. My name is Resby Coots. It's my privilege to stand in for Bob Pickett, who was the committee's MC of choice, and logically so, but Bob's been under the weather the last couple of days. So if you would like to send some good thoughts Bob's way, I'm sure he could use them. However, it's my privilege to stand in, and on New Year's Eve, officially this is the 2015 Canola Junior Championships. I want to congratulate all of the teams, 32 teams. Great curling all week, some more developmental than competitive, but a wonderful week of curling. And today, the best have been here and have given us a wonderful day of curling entertainment. It's my privilege to call upon Kim Warburton, President of Curl Manitoba.
On behalf of the Board of Directors of Curl Manitoba, congratulations on a very successful Canola Junior Provincials to the athletes and the volunteers of the Assiniboine Curling Club. It's because of great sponsors like the Manitoba Canola Growers and all the sponsors of Curl Manitoba as well as the attended supporters who make this event a roaring success. Thanks also to the staff of Curl Manitoba who diligently organize the event. Congratulations to all four teams for your great curling this week, but especially to Braden and your team and Beth and your team. Wear the buffalo proudly, representing our province in Cornbrook, Newfoundland. We will proudly watch you and will be cheering you on as you achieve success on your outcome in February.
Thank you, Kim. And here on behalf of the Manitoba Canola Growers, our title sponsor is Board Director Chuck Fossey. Yes, congratulations. St. Vital Curling Club, Shannon Burchard and her team, Jenna Bover, Taylor Maida, Katrina Thiessen, and their coach, Bruce Burchard. Congratulations as well to the finalists on the young men's side. We had 2 games today between 2 fine competitive teams, both of whom will be playing in the Manitoba Men's Championship in early February. And so we call forward the team from the Granite Curling Club, Matt Dunstone, and your team, Colton Lott, Kyle Derrick, Rob Gordon, and Coach Cal East. Now, Kim and Chuck, if you would present to our new champions on the women's side from the Fort Rouge Curling Club, Beth Peterson, Robin Negavan, Melissa Gordon, Brianne Yazenko, and their coaches Jack Gordon and Murray Peterson. And on the junior men's side, from the Deer Lodge Curling Club, defending their title, Braden Calvert, Kyle Kurz, Lucas Vandenbosch, Brendan Wilson, and their coach, Lynn Wallace Kurz. And now I think, President Kim, if you would deliver the jackets and the buffalo crests, you can do one set. Director Chuck, you can do the other set. We'll just move this right along. Don't fall.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to our women's champions, Beth Peterson, Robin Negavan, Melissa Gordon, Brianne Yazenko, and their coach, Jack Gordon. And from the Deer Lodge, Braden Calvert, Kyle Kurz, Lucas Vandenbosch, Brendan Wilson, and Lynn Follister is the coach. Braden, could I get you to say a couple words? I know you're a quiet guy by nature.
You can talk.
Hello everyone, thanks for coming and supporting us. I'd like to thank the canola growers for sponsoring this event and making it possible. The countless volunteers that put on such a great event. I want to give a big shout out to our parents and family for coming out and supporting us, and they're making our job a lot easier when they treat us like royalty all week. Thank you.
And Beth, would you like to?
Hi, thank you everyone for coming out and watching, and the Canola Growers, for sponsoring the event. And the Assiniboine Curling Club, we actually started curling here when we were 4 years old, so it's kind of cool that we got our buffalo here. And definitely a big thanks to my team. Thanks.
And what she was going to say, and I'll echo Braden's comments, thank you to all of the parents and all of the supporters of all of the teams. You folks have made this a wonderful event, and I think Paul would echo the fact you've made it a very successful event for the Assiniboine Memorial Curling Club. We have one last task, President Kim. as a memento of a wonderful week here at Assiniboine Memorial. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, one last time, show these young people your appreciation for a wonderful show all week. A tough day for some, a wonderful day for others. Congratulations to our champions. Good luck at the Nationals, and thank you all very much.
Ha ha.